Okay, welcome back to the OK Not OK podcast. I am Dr. OK, back for yet another week. So let's kick it off as usual with the OK question of the week. Sports Zoo, Doc, Kevin Owens picked up a chair and looked like he was about to hit Cody Rhodes with it before he tossed it down and hugged him. So how do you think Owens really feels about Rhodes and Reigns teaming up? Sports Zoo, come on. First you wanted me to play Love Doctor with all of those Dom, Liv, Rhea love triangle videos, and now you want me to get inside Kevin Owens' head and see what he is thinking in there? That's a tough one. Well, let's go with a little different angle, a little bit more of the Doktor O'Kay angle. So I want to start off with saying Kevin Owens has been fighting Roman Reigns during this Bloodline feud more than anyone else in the entire WWE. And in fact, he's done okay against him. So let's look at this by the matches. And in fact, Reigns has fought Owens 8 different times since the Bloodline began in 2020, and Reigns has defeated Owens all 4 times in 4 different title matches. Now, of course, those are just the singles titles, aka the Universal title at the time, but KO has actually gone 3-0 against him in traditional tag matches, including defending the title with Sami Zayn against Reigns and Sikoa at Night of Champions. So he also has 1 loss to the entire Bloodline at War Games 2 years ago. So Owens' total record is just 3-5. Now, beyond Roman Reigns expanding to the entire Bloodline, Kevin Owens has more total matches against the Bloodline than anyone else, and by my count, it is 29 total televised matches where he's actually had a good record at 14, 13, and 2, including his no contest that he just had with the Street Profits last Friday on SmackDown against Tonga, Loa, and Fatu. Well, among those 14 wins, he has been by far the most successful against the former right-hand man, Jey Uso, and he has gone 10-5 in all matches, including Jey Uso in them. And of course, there is some overlap with Reigns, so the 8 matches against Reigns and the 15 matches against Jey are not exclusive. There were 2 matches in which Jey and Roman both participated. But the match that started it all for Kevin Owens against the Bloodline was on November 6, 2020 on SmackDown, just a couple of days after Roman Reigns defeated Jey Uso in an I Quit match. So Jey was left having to fall in line underneath Roman as part of the Bloodline. Kevin Owens made a couple of comments about Jey Uso, so Reigns had Jey have a match with him that night. And sure enough, that match was won when Jey Uso delivered a low blow headbutt and then followed it up with an Uso splash to get the win. So from there, it has been almost 4 years of fighting the Bloodline for Kevin Owens. That's right, from November 6, 2020 to September 13th, 2024, when Cody Rhodes signed that contract to team with Roman Reigns. It was 1,408 days, or 3 years, 10 months, and 8 days. Incredible stuff. Almost 4 years of fighting the Bloodline. And under his mantra, just keep fighting, I'm sure he is happy to do so to continue to try to finally get the upper hand on them once and for all. But there's been a lot of getting beaten up along the way, and in fact that has made Kevin Owens one of the beat up buddies for Cody Rhodes along with Randy Orton. Since Rhodes won the title, Owens has been in 3 different official tag matches with Rhodes and has found himself getting injured along the way, where he missed a few weeks leading up to SummerSlam when he finally returned to help save Rhodes and help him retain the title. And of course, just last month, Cody Rhodes fought Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship at Bash in Berlin after Rhodes handpicked Owens for all of the help that he's given him along the way. And of course, Kevin Owens saying that he is not the same man that he used to be. He proved it so many times along the way. First saying that he did not want the title match. Then he had a steel chair in his hands and threw it down, not even trying to attack Rhodes with it when he easily could have. Then during the match, he refused to attack Cody's injured knee from behind. And then just moments later, he also refused to attack him with his devastating apron powerbomb. So in the end, Owens lost and Rhodes retained, but even then, the two hugged it out at the end of the match. And of course, when SmackDown premiered on USA, Rhodes fought Sikoa inside a steel cage for the championship. And surely enough, he won and said that he was done with the Bloodline. But Rhodes' word was about as good as the paper it was written on, which was no paper at all, so it wasn't any good at all. So not only did Rhodes tell Sikoa that he was done with the Bloodline, he also told Aldis that he was done with the Bloodline, and then finally at the end of the night, a mere maybe hour later at the most, he gets attacked one more time from behind by Tonga and Loa, and he's signing a contract with Roman Reigns to team up with his biggest rival of them all. Now, what was Cody doing? We have documented several times all of the strange decisions that he's made during this title reign, and this one may have been the biggest one. Surely he was not thinking about his beat-up buddies that have been there every step of the way. And he just went through with the contract and signed it, leaving those two in the dust for Reigns. So what now could Owens possibly be thinking? That he was being replaced by his biggest enemy that he has fought over and over the last 4 years? Wow. Wow. Incredible stuff. But even with that, Owens went and fought the Bloodline last week, even 3-on-1 at times. There was no Randy Orton to be found last week, and there was no Cody Rhodes, because for some reason he was off going all the way to Atlanta just to film a weird segment with Reigns in the middle of Georgia Tech's football stadium. So Owens instead got the help of DIY and the help of the Street Profits. Very nice of them to do. I know they've had some issues with the Bloodline as well for the tag team championships, but certainly they didn't need to help out Owens if they didn't want to. And then finally, with about 1 minute left in the show, Cody Rhodes finally shows up. I'm sure he took a last-minute flight to get there, and this was just him walking in the arena at the very last minute. And all of a sudden, he saw that Owens was being attacked, so he just grabbed a chair and ran out there as soon as he could. But that's a little iffy, right? That really showed that 2 other tag teams went out there before Rhodes. Had he not shown up at all, that might have actually been better if he had actually stayed back in Atlanta and had no intention of ever showing up that night. But the fact that he did, I guess he helped in the end, and it really looked like Owens wanted to do something about it and hit Cody with that steel chair. So I think we kind of know where Owens' mind is. Now, he was being a good guy as usual, threw down the chair, shook Cody's hand, and hugged him to end the show, but Cody better not make one more misstep, because I have to believe at this point Kevin Owens is on his last nerve with this. If for some reason this partnership goes beyond just bad blood, I can only imagine that Owens just might completely blow a gasket, and the next time he's got the steel chair in his hand, he's not going to be able to stop himself. And why should he? It's been almost 8 years since his last singles championship. He had just a 2-day reign all the way back in July of 2017 with the US title and has not held singles gold since. So Cody, look out. If you've got that WWE championship in your hand and you're working with Roman Reigns, I have to imagine KO's going to be seeing red here very soon, and you might just need to look out. But until then, I guess we'll have to see if KO just keeps fighting the Bloodline on his own, or hopefully at least with Randy Orton. Well, there you have it. We've got some intriguing stuff possibly along the way there with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. So I hope Rhodes can get his act together and fall back in line with his true friends, the beat-up buddies Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. I'm Dr. O'Kay, and this has been the OK Not OK podcast.